Alright everybody, here's the deal. I don't have a whole lot to say about Ace Attorney Justice for All, but I have a lot to say about Trials and Tribulations. And it would be kind of weird to jump from talking about the first game immediately to talking about the third. Not that I've ever gone in order on my channel. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you my main thoughts about Justice for All in 10 minutes or less, just to say that I have done it. And I'm going to subject you to a speed draw of my OCs while I'm at it because I can't find my SIM card. Sound good? Good. Then let's start the timer and get this show on the road. Ace Attorney Justice for All is a completely fine game. There's nothing really wrong with it, but I also didn't find it particularly memorable and is the entry I think I'm least likely to replay. Phoenix continues to be a good protagonist. Not much more to be said. This game made me love Maya even more, and thank God she's 18 now so I could stop being grossed out by that. Mia continues to be a bad bitch. My love for Gumshoe has gone up, unlike his salary. Edgeworth was only around for one chapter, but he was a delight during it, and he cares so much about Maya! It's so cute! Unironically love the return of Wendy Oldbag. Poor woman cannot catch a break when it comes to her celebrity crushes. Will Powers is out here getting the recognition that he deserves. Lotta Hart pissed me off so many times. She learned nothing from the original game, and that does not make her cute or interesting. I'm glad she lost her camera. If only she would get lost from the scene. I like Pearl. Not a big fan of it when she's suddenly but she's a cutie pie, and I don't think she stands in the way of Maya and Phoenix's dynamic. Although I wish she wasn't such a big shipper on deck, but what can you do? Morgan Fay. I don't know that I like her, but I also don't think she's a bad character. She just doesn't occupy much of my headspace. Maggie Bird is a dork, and I love her. I don't even remember this fool's name. Eenie Miney devastated me. Her chapter was so good, I loved it, and I think it's mostly because of her. Maximilian Galactica instantly won my heart over, and oh no, go back. Regina got on my nerves, and now I understand why Jello bullies her. Acro was the best part of Chapter 3. This sad little clown man is fine. Why? Matt on guard was great and so satisfying to bring down. Adrian Andrews, my beloved, you deserve the goddamn world. I'm so sorry that Edgeworth basically told you to go commit self-oof. And I adore this guy. I love him. He's great. Yes, she's getting her own little section, because I said so. Disclaimer, my feelings on Francisca have changed. Have changed since I first beat the game, and I have learned she's in later entries. So I'm sticking with my impressions of her during her debut game, and this entry didn't really win me over. Now I knew already that nobody was going to top the chemistry that Edgeworth had with Phoenix, but Francisca's dynamic with Phoenix wasn't a particularly enjoyable one. The whipping thing was funny a couple of times, but quickly became an overused joke, and so was her foolish, foolhardy, fool thing. Her motivation for wanting to defeat Phoenix was kind of lackluster. It could have been fleshed out more and made more compelling, in my opinion, but the idea itself was solid. She's clearly an intelligent prosecutor, however her tendency to get easily wigged out and ramble on about foolish fools doing fool things, it made it difficult to take her seriously. Which, to be fair, isn't necessarily a bad thing, and I can bet that this portrayal worked for some people. I didn't enjoy it myself, and this was not helped by the fact that she was really only the prosecutor for 2 cases. That being said, she came in clutch during Chapter 4, and that little scene with her and Edgeworth during the end was really f***ing cute. She's just so adorable. I just want to pinch her cheeks and ruffle her hair. She'd probably kill me though. Not a whole lot changed gameplay-wise from the original game, and I have absolutely no problem with that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the changes that were made worked. Being able to present people's profiles as evidence in court was a very nice addition and felt very natural. I didn't even notice you couldn't do it in the first game, but it felt good to have it in the second one. Good move, developers. The Magatama and Cyclops I initially wasn't hot on because I didn't think we would need a special magical device just to learn that people kept secrets. Kinda felt odd. Not to mention it made save scumming much harder, and it was really difficult to know exactly when you had all the evidence you needed to unlock them, since sometimes you needed a lot, sometimes you didn't, and it's a whole ordeal. However, I've warmed up to them now. It adds a new level of anticipation and mystery now that you could tell for sure that someone is hiding something, and that you could go into trials with them still being locked. Plus, the addition of the Magatama helped to better integrate the mysticism introduced in the first game via spirit mediums. So, net positive. One thing I enjoyed about the first game was that all of the cases felt like they were building up to something important, and they were all connected by the growing relationship between Edgeworth and Phoenix. Justice for All seemed to be trying to do that with Franziska's revenge quest and Miles' disappearance, but it didn't quite stick the landing. Truth be told, I had to look up what the cases were in this game because I forgot what they were, and upon reflection, I can't say that many of them were very connected to each other. Now, some of these cases became much more relevant in future games, but focusing specifically on the game in a vacuum, there was not much of a through line. The Lost Turnabout was an interesting first case, and I appreciated that Phoenix suddenly getting amnesia was the justification for him needing a tutorial. It was pretty creative. Unfortunately, this chapter is still not very outstanding. Reunion and Turnabout was solid. The reveal of Eni's true identity, the betrayal of Morgan Fay, and the Korean channeling technique being an element of the murder setup were all really fun. And the introduction of so many new characters makes this a very important case in the grand scheme of the series. Too bad Lotta was in it. Turnabout Big Top was hard for me to enjoy because of the bleh, but not counting that, it still wasn't a super fun case. The characters weren't particularly enjoyable, the stupid courtroom joke penalty was frustrating, the plot was confusing, and ultimately we convicted the only character I actually liked. Sad. Farewell My Turnabout was long, and I'd say that was its biggest drawback, but that's small. With the return of Edgeworth, a fun cast full of great characters, and an interesting moral conflict that's faced by Phoenix, it's no wonder that this is widely considered to be one of the better cases in the whole series. If I had to pick my favorite case, I'd say it's probably a toss-up between Reunion and Turnabout and Farewell My Turnabout. There are some absolute bangers in the soundtrack. Pearl's theme, the Cyclock theme, Karain Village, Franziska and Miles' theme. I didn't realize they were different or that they shared the same themes, but that's also really cute. That one Pedophiles theme, but I don't know if this is a hot take, but I didn't really like the courtroom themes this time around. They felt too somber for how high-octane the trials typically are, and they sorta killed the mood. Also, I despise the Big Berry Circus theme. It makes me want to commit manslaughter. On my ranking list, I have to give Justice for All a B. A solid game with nothing really wrong about it, but it just didn't scratch the same kind of itch the first game did. I'm glad I played it, I may replay it, but it's nothing to really write home about. But that's where I'm gonna leave it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Follow me on the Burning Remains of Twitter, or Instagram if you prefer. And until next time, take care everybody. This is TinyLeaf, signing off.